Hey guys, welcome back to Poprageous. My name is Danny Alex. So we are talking about episode 4, Starfleet Academy. If you haven't watched it, and I hope, look, if you're a Star Trek fan, you don't want to be watching this, because this will just literally, if you watch section 31 and you want to see something comparable, arguably worse, one's a movie, one's a TV show. So look, they're going to be different. If you want to see something worse, you start watching Starfleet Academy. Now, I'm a screenwriter, so I've written TV. I've also written a lot of movies. Both of the disciplines are slightly different, but at the end of the day, storytelling is the same. Protagonist, antagonist, and you got something that's got to happen between them. Someone's got to be after something. There's got to be tension, right? There's got to be conflict. Basically, episode 4 is all about Jaden the Klingon. He's the only Klingon in all of Starfleet Academy. And somehow we're supposed to care about this character. This is, look, guys, I'll be honest. This is literally grade school level script writing. If any of you took English at university or have some sort of, even if you you watch this episode and you realize there's no story being told. It's just like this happens, then this happens, then this happens, and then this happens. The easiest way to explain how all of these episodes actually feel, it's like, when you see like a 6-year-old, you see them hurt themselves, they fall, they scratch their knee, they go running to their mom, and they try to tell what happened. They go, well, and then this happened, and then I went over there, and then I ran, and then I fell, and then this happened, and then that's kind of the way it feels like. It's like this Lego blocks of story stuff that get put together that has no coherent story. But that's the easiest way to explain how these episodes feel like. It's like a 6-year-old trying to tell what happened to them when they're crying. This choppy, blocky, staccato kind of feeling of watching a TV show. Virtually the entire episode is one Klingon talking about, well, we don't want to use violence as a means, a Klingon, but a Klingon must be a Klingon. I mean, there's a whole debate section in this, which forms like the body of a lot of what the meat and potatoes is. There's no story in it. There's nothing that we're supposed to be. There's nothing that enamors us to these characters. But basically, we go through this entire thing where the Klingons' parents die in a refugee ship, or at least we're made to think that they died. We're made to think, at the very least, right? We're supposed to feel sympathy somehow for these people we've never met, for a character we care very little about, if anything. So in screenwriting, what you're supposed to do, introduce them in episode 3, right? Here's what I would have done. A brief introduction. They don't have to be the best people. They're Klingons, right? They're tough. You could be likable and tough, but at least introduce them in episode 3. So we lead into episode 4, and oh, by the way, they died. Oh. And then you can go into more of the flashbacks. We learn more about the family. We learn about how Jaden's brother basically dies trying to get some sort of a Starfleet thingy from the market. I don't know. All of a sudden, he just walks back in one scene. He's bleeding, and then he's dead. Everyone's yelling and screaming. Everyone's angry. That's one common thread. The only emotion that they can use is anger. Like, that's to create conflict. Well, how do we create conflict? We'll just make a character get angry. Oh, okay. Well, that's what a great screenwriting technique that is. But that's what they're doing. It literally gets to the point where Jaden storms off. He goes to his room, and then the reptilian guy walks in, and he does that. They're this close. You think they're about to kiss, right? You think like there's going to be a smooching session, but no. They go into this Dera Pecha Ucha. Oh my god! What in the hell am I watching? But anyway, that's supposed to be the catalyst. And him going back on stage and tell them I'm coming back out. All right, okay. He's coming back out. We also get a speech from half Jamajar and Klingon woman. But he comes back on stage. And somehow his speech is the trigger by which the Klingons, because they won't take a free planet, right? They won't take charity, but they will go into a fake fight with Starfleet. And they have a fake fight, and then they kind of call a truce, and they accept the planet, and everything is fun shits and giggles. But this is literally what happens in episode 4. And as they go through all this, I mean, you're wondering, you're trying to follow the arguments in the debate. You're like, didn't he basically say the same thing that he said before? Like, I'm trying to differentiate the arguments. I'm trying to, I mean, part of it was the acting is so bad. The acting is so bad. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to put into words without actually seeing it, how bad the acting is. And look, I don't like being negative. Like, these actors, they're going to take a role. It's a good gig. It's a job. Hey, I got a job in a Star Trek TV show. Who wouldn't take it? I'll take it. But of course, on reflection, I look at this going, oh, it's like taking one of the gigs on Blood Origin, right? Could you imagine Blood Origin? Hey, you got that job at Blood Origin? Yeah, I got it. No, I watched it. It was really, it was shit. It's like, oh shit. Yeah, well, it's kind of the same thing with Starfleet Academy. Look, the characters are bad. The writing is abhorrent. It is some of the worst writing. It's not even first year university writing. This is high school level writing. This is as bad as it gets. It is shocking to me that these scripts could be signed off on. I don't know if anyone at Paramount is saying, I get it's Alex Kurtzman, right? He's the guy that's kind of giving the rubber stamp, but it shows you how absolutely terrible he is at assessing what a good TV show is, what a good movie is, Section 31. Look, the franchise is in a tailspin. This is an utter tailspin. This is Star Trek's The Acolyte. And I would argue The Acolyte is actually a little bit better than Starfleet Academy, because at least The Acolyte was science fiction. Starfleet Academy, I said it before, this is Melrose Place, Beverly Hills 90210, disguised as Star Trek. That's what this is. It is, there's nothing except that attaches this to Star Trek except by name. Except by name. But there's a lot you could say about this episode. It is terrible. It's terrible. You're sitting at, on IMDb, this show is sitting at a 4.2. On Metacritic, it's a 1.7. On Rotten Tomatoes, we're talking 43%. I mean, the critics love it. They're saying 88%, right? 88%. This is fresh. This is certified fresh. And it's part of the problem with the entire critic establishment, the media, the shill media, that are basically there to prop up these Imagine if this is how it worked in the NFL. You have 2, 3, 4, 5 losing seasons. We're going to promote you. You've done really well at driving this team right into the ground, but we think you're doing good work. How would you like, as a coach, how would you like the general manager position as well? That's how it works at Lucasfilm. That's how it works at Star Trek Paramount. That's how it works at Marvel. That's how it works at all these franchises now in Hollywood. All you got to do is prove that you can make one colossal giant disaster of a TV show or movie, and you will be promoted. You will be celebrated. If you don't like Starfleet Academy, you just don't get it. You're bigoted, you're misogynist, you're racist, you're something. You're one of those things, or maybe you're all of them put together. That's the problem with the entire industry today. And it's the big problem with Starfleet Academy. We're heading into episode 5. Was episode 4 better than episode 3? No, they're on par. They're both at the bottom of the barrel. It doesn't get any worse than this. There's no story. But we'll see what we get from episode 5. That is coming up in that 1 week's time, episode 5. Cheers. Thanks for watching.